You have something like, you have Swimming Upstream, which speaks to this women, it speaks to innocence. Then we have Black Nativity, which, serves our youth as a young production. It's also a show celebrating the holiday and celebrating, so we have...
it's even hard to even talk about holidays today.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And then we have, my mind's going blank.
Ms. Evers Boys.
Yeah, Ms. Evers Boys, which deals with, the government using, community of African Americans to test, what does happen with syphilis.
For 40 years.
Yeah, for 40 years. So you have that, and then we go to a wedding band, which deals with an interracial relationship in the South, which Andrea Fry is directing. So you can talk about Atlanta and
Andrea Fry is it.
She's extraordinary, and what's exciting about her doing a wedding band, every spring we do a reading series of plays, and we use that often to test out and try out the plays that we're going to do. So many shows in our regular season we have read the spring before. So last spring was the first and so far only chance I've had to hear a draft of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner read. So I had a chance to hear that. So Atlanta audiences who came to support that were greatly instructive to me, because I got to hear that. Oh, you were there?
I went to a couple of them. Right. As a matter of fact, I got a chance to give some feedback to my favorite actor, Eugene Lee.
Oh yes,
because you had to read him in his play.
Yes.
And that's the kind of opportunity you have with theater to go to these readings. When you hear there's going to be a reading done, does everybody have theirs in the spring? Do you have more in between the time it's getting ready to come to production? How can give us a little insight to the other things that happen beyond the stage?
Well, we do.
Being a theater.
Well, for us, every theater has a different version of this, but we choose the spring, and we do anywhere from 3 to 5 plays, and we mix it. We always want to have at least one representative new work, a play in development, so that a playwright has the opportunity, because I can share with you there's nothing like the breadth of, and also the terror of going from working alone in the room to having the experience of the audience and learning through them. Right. So last spring we had Eugene's play was new, my play was new. We also, True Colors, part of our mission is we're dedicated to preserving and extolling, American, African American classics that get lost. That it's like, because a lot of people think, oh well, there's Raisin in the Sun.
Right.
What else? They don't know Ceremonies in Dark Old Men. They don't know a wedding band. They don't know these plays. So part of our mission, so what we do is we often use the readings to try out, because, sometimes a play, it's also a matter of picking the right play at the right time. And it doesn't mean it needs to be, ostensibly taught, but does it speak to us today and resonate today? And as we saw with the wedding band, which Andrea did an incredible job with the reading. She's very passionate about the play. She had a prior relationship with the playwright. She brings so much to the table.
Her MFA thesis.
Yes, and so her reading was so extraordinary. It was a clear cut. When we saw the reading, it's like we have to do this play. Wow. So that serves the classic. We're also establishing relationships with. Both Kenny and I work nationally, so we're also working to bring other playwrights, like a young playwright, Brian Tucker. We did his play, St. James Infirmary, a couple of years ago, and they're doing a production of that in Chicago now. So we're still looking at. We might even give it a second production. That's one play that we're considering, such as a play like Stickfly. For those of you who saw Lydia's play, Lydia had a production in Chicago. We did a second production here. And what people don't understand is that there's so much enthusiasm and fundraising in the nonprofit world around the world premiere, and then playwrights are abandoned. And it's like, well, wait a minute. I learned after this one production, let me get back at it, because I've learned so much from having the audience and from having all the actors that, an opportunity to rework it. And a lot of newer work doesn't get developed, it gets stunted. It's like stunted growth. It's like sending your kid to elementary school and saying, well, now find your way in the world. But what about high school? So we're looking for those kind of opportunities. So we don't always, sometimes we want to bring along new writers. Sometimes we want to do second productions. Also, another thing that Kenny's wanted to do since he founded the company is to nurture works that will go on, works like Swimming Upstream or Ivory Joe Cole, or we're developing another musical now that we're hoping that we can start here in Atlanta that will be, we'll either tour with it or we'll go to New York or wherever we go with it, but started here and also started with, again, Kenny's kind of built this family of people here. One of the great honors of my life was when he first invited me to jump on a plane and come down here and continue a relationship I had with him through working on August Play. So that's how I began working with Kenny as a
well, and we are going to archive the videos for today. And I know there's the playwrights all over the country are going to be searching and find this. How do they get involved? How do they get to be noticed by True Colors Theater? And you can kind of direct that at to us as well as to those online.
I don't want to look at myself.
I know. I know you've been like avoiding it. I know it's over there, but you know. But just how do people become noticed or get in contact or what's
write your plays. I mean that's just write. Do the work. Everything else, I swear, like falls into place. Do
the work.
The work is the only thing that will lead you there. I mean, a lot of people spend more time worrying about submissions and agents and all of that kind of stuff. It's like, do the play. At some point, you'll have a play that, if you keep at it and you keep adding the right questions and you keep, it's to me the work leads you to the work. I don't, what do I do? Who should I send it to?
Right.
And there are avenues, but you will find that on your journey of writing your plays and trying to learn more about your art and the world in which you will begin to encounter people. You'll find out about the festivals. You'll find out about those things. They will come to you as long as your magnet is focused on the work. And unfortunately, people get more interested because the easier part is the hustle, writing the letters and let me write this to this. No, do the work. Do the work on the page because it's hard. And I'm telling you, not only is it a testament to my own experience, but I had the great honor and privilege for 7-8 years watching, arguably one of the greatest living playwrights in the world, and that man struggled every day and every night to write his play. He was always a struggling playwright. Regardless. So that's what he said. People say, well, what would you do if you didn't have this kind of success or whatever? And he would say, exactly what I'm doing right now. I would be writing my plays.
I think I asked him that question because I did have the opportunity to meet August Wilson, interview August Wilson. Even though I hate interviews, but come on, ask me a question. That was him. And we talked, and I would ask him stuff. And of course, I told Kenny this, and King Hedley. I'm sitting there, one seat next to me. Everybody's following me and watch the play. And August Wilson comes and sits right next to me, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't watch this with him. And I had a chance to watch King Hedley with August. So, it's like, I just felt like I was supposed to fall in love with his work. And that's just my story of August Wilson. So anytime I can talk to anybody about it. And I'm so glad that this worked out, that you're here with us and you've got a chance to. All right, so again, everybody, you've been watching DryerBuzz Company. You were able to be a bee buzzing in the room. We're going to do more of these, and I'm thinking once or twice a month. Maybe even we may start doing a weekly on Fridays. A lot of the things that people ask me about becoming a blogger, and I had to kind of embrace the whole blogging because I was blogging before blogging, and now I said, okay, I'm a blogger, whatever. But I want to do more of these to talk about Atlanta. And so this is where we'll be in the boardroom, different guests, you'll see it on the website, you'll be able to come out, and maybe, this sure does be sitting at the Wi-Fi by myself. So I'm so glad that you all accepted the invitation to come by and live stream with us.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome, wonderful.